Hey everyone, it's Mike from Destinations to Travel coming to you live today from Disney's Saratoga Springs Resort. I hope everyone's having a great weekend. Hi Patty. We are continuing our Walt Disney World Resort Hotel Spotlight Series today from here at Saratoga Springs. Things are obviously a little bit different, so we like to typically start off out by like the bus loop out at the front of the resort. This one's laid out a little bit differently, so we don't have a typical like bus pickup drop-off area out in front. They are spread throughout the resort. Hi Abigail. So we started just a little bit back. This is like the porte cochere area where you would be dropped off if you are, taking a car service or something like that. You can get ride share right over there. So Uber, Lyft, things like that. So you'd get dropped off right up there. And then this is the carriage house. That is the main check-in area. And then you've got some of the restaurants and things like that we will take a look at in just a minute here. But this is one of my favorite photo ops of any of the resorts here at Walt Disney World. Yeah, Patty says Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Thank you, Patty. I appreciate that. Tomorrow, obviously, is Father's Day, for those of you who may have forgotten and now are scrambling to pick up a last-minute gift. So Saratoga Springs does have a bit of a horse racing theme to it, as you will see all around the resort. You can see the winner's circle here. Although I do want to point out the warning sign here. This is like a bronze statue they have right out in front of the carriage house. And there was a sign, hot surface, do not touch or sit on the sculpture. It's Florida. When that sun is beaming down, this thing is going to be very hot. So if you're visiting Saratoga Springs or if you're staying here, just don't touch it. It makes for a great photo. Just don't touch the sculpture. So the big thing about Saratoga Springs, the nicest thing that makes it special is one of the things that we were highlighting with the Spotlight series here is what makes these resorts special. And what makes this one special is a walking path over to Disney Springs. This is the only Walt Disney World Resort hotel that offers that. And so we will wrap things up with a nice view across the lagoon over at Disney Springs. And if you're not familiar, by the way, our Spotlight series has taken us to several of the Walt Disney World Resort hotels already. We are getting out to every single hotel here in Walt Disney World this year. So you can always go back on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/D2Travel, to check out all of the resorts we've been to already. And if we don't see your favorite in that list, we'll be getting out to it. Don't worry. Like I said, we're getting out to every hotel this year. And what we're doing with this Spotlight series is we begin on Monday with a sort of highlight reel video of the hotel to kind of give you an overview. We then take a look at the room types that are available, and then the food options. And then, like I said, we talk about what makes that resort special. So again, here at Saratoga, it is the walking path over to Disney Springs. And then we culminate each week with a live stream, so you can get a chance to see the resort for yourself, ask any questions you might have. But let me catch up on a couple comments and then we'll get things started here. Oh, just one. Hi, Randy. Let's head into the carriage house. And there is another nice photo op out here. A little carriage in front of the carriage house, which makes a lot of sense. This is a DVC resort, by the way, so Disney Vacation Club. Just means you can stay here with your points. Let's head inside. So you got sort of the stables theme. This is your main check-in right here. I like that they have some of the Disney horses and these portraits around the room. Maximus and Pegasus. And then don't quiz me on other Disney horses. As we come past here, you've got restrooms here, and then you get into the Artist's Palette, which is your quick service dining option here at Saratoga. It is beautiful, by the way. I love the like the glass work chandeliers here, like blown glass. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Tiara. So, we always like to stop in the gift shop, which is, of course, attached to Artist Palette here. And then you'll find the Saratoga Springs specific merchandise right at the entrance. So we got some polos. We got like a quarter zip. There's a t-shirt here. And then you have some DVC merch right up at the front as well. And then, of course, your typical Walt Disney World merch all around here. So you'll find your t-shirts and other souvenirs and things like that. And then we come into Artist Palette, and this is the quick service, sort of, variety counters. You get pizzas, burgers, things like that. There's a quick grab and go over here as well, so you get some frozen stuff, some sandwiches, cupcakes, other baked goods. And then you have your like convenience store counter there as well. And then if you make your way all the way through Artist Palette, you'll find a sign for the Turf Club Bar and Grill. So this is your table service restaurant here in Saratoga Springs. Oh, let's see, we got some signature activities. Winter Circle mosaics. These are really cool. You got like a horseshoe, you got a Mickey, and like a racer's helmet with Mickey ears. Very cool. Good thing I already had lunch, says Randy. Guess what? I have not. This is one of my favorite details of this resort. I love this, like the jockey. I don't know what you call them. What do their jockeys wear? A jacket? Jockey jacket? Sounds cool. With the pink one with the Mickeys on it. I love it. And then we head this way to the Turf Club Bar and Grill, and there's sort of a lounge area out here. And then the Bar and Grill. Which obviously not serving right now. It also feels a lot bigger than it actually is because of all the mirrors here. But nice, relaxing vibe here. Stream is glitching. Uh-oh. So we don't get good service in here. Excuse me. All right, so we're gonna head back outside. So there's some outdoor seating out here for the Artist Palette. And you can see to the left over there, that is where we started. The Winner's Circle photo op over there. And now right here you've got High Rock Spring. This is the main pool area. Let's see if I can get a better view looking down there. It is a really, really nice pool. They do have like a little water slide over here. And it's a pretty busy day in there right now. We've been to some of the other resorts for the Spotlight series, and granted we started this like, I guess it was technically still winter, and so the pools weren't as busy as this one seems today. Here we go, you can get a good view over here. Now Saratoga is a very big resort, So you've got the main pool here, but this is one of those where you're in different sections. You will have other pools. There are actually 4 pools at this resort, which is one of the most of any Walt Disney World Resort hotels. It's up there. So I think we will see one other one. We're going to head over to the Congress Park area. And you do have a hot tub down here as well. We also, as you can see, we have some games here. We got giant checkers. There's some giant chess and actually giant Tetris over there as well, which I've been seeing popping up a little bit more and more. I actually just saw it in Costco the other day. One thing I do want to mention about Saratoga, and I'm just going to step off into the shade so we don't make sure we don't overheat here today. Oh yeah, as Randy points out too, the purple martin's nests. So you'll see these structures all around Walt Disney World. This home's for the purple martins, which is a type of bird. Hi, Jack. But one thing I wanted to mention about Saratoga is, like I said, it's a very big resort. There are pools spread throughout. There are bus stops spread throughout as well. This is one resort more than any other, to me, I think, that can be inconvenient depending on what type of what room you have, where you are on the resort, because it's very big, it's very spread out, and if you don't have a car, it could be a very long walk over to the carriage house if you're here for food or things like that. Again, there are bus stops all throughout, so there will be a bus stop close to your room no matter where you are. But if you don't want to wait for the bus, and again, you know, maybe you want to go to Magic Kingdom and the first 2 buses that come are Epcot or Hollywood Studios and things like that. So keep that in mind. If there's something specific you want, maybe you do want to take advantage of that walk to Disney Springs, you're going to want to be over at Congress Park. That's going to be the closest area, closest buildings, villas, rooms, whatever you have. That'll be the closest to the walking path. And maybe you want to be close to the carriage house. So just something to keep in mind. Ask your destination to travel advisor to help you out with that. As Randy says, big, try huge. They have 5 bus stops. Yeah, I'm curious because I know we, and Randy, you were there for that one too, with over at Port Orleans Riverside. We talked about that being the resort with the most pools at 6. This resort has 4 pools, but I'm curious which one has the most bus stops. I wonder if 5 is the most. It's probably pretty even across because there are a lot of resorts like this that have different sections, and there's typically a bus stop for each section. Let's see, question from... Oh, wait, I get Jack saying, beautiful walk to Springs. Yeah, it really is. It's a very nice walk. We are going to end over at Congress Park, which will be where the walking path to Disney Springs is. We can't take the full walk because it does walk you up to a security checkpoint, and we can't have a live stream going at the security checkpoint, so we won't be doing that. But I'll show you where you would go. Sharon, does this place have accommodations or adapted for larger families? Not very familiar with it. Yes. So I was going to talk about this as we got over to some of the rooms later on. Not that we're going to be able to actually see the rooms themselves, but so this hotel does have 5, if my math is correct. Yes, that's okay. So 5 different types of rooms. There are deluxe studios, which can sleep up to 4. And then there are 1, 2, and 3 bedroom villas. The 3 bedroom villa sleeps, I believe, 12, up to 12 adults. Might have been 13, something like that. So yes, there are plenty of room types that accommodate big families. There are also the treehouse villas, which unfortunately we can't get out to today because it's in the opposite direction. It's a very long walk, and it's a long walk through a lot of parking lot. So wouldn't make for a very interesting video for about 15 minutes. But the treehouse villas are very nice. You can ask your destination to travel advisor for information about those. I have gotten to see them myself. They're really, really nice. They were recently redone too. So, yeah, I really like those. And you can see those on the Walt Disney World website as well. And we also did post, like I said, we highlight the room types during the week. So if you want to scroll back on our Facebook a little bit, you can see photos of the rooms. We do have photos of the treehouse villas in there. Let's see. Yep, Randy pointing out Saratoga is DVC, so the 2 and 3 bedroom villas. And 12 adults. Thank you, Randy, for confirming. 12 adults in the 3 bedroom grand villa. Now, another special thing about Saratoga is it's not actually Disney Saratoga Springs Resort. It is Disney Saratoga Springs Resort and Spa. So there is a Senses Spa here. which I have never actually gotten to check out. I have seen the one over in Grand Floridian, but there is a census right here at Saratoga as well. Here's a look at one of the maps for the resort. So we are here. This is where the carriage house is. This is the main pool area. So you've got several different housing areas, we'll call them. So you got the Springs right across the street. Congress Park is where we're going to end up. We're basically just going to follow this path here and come out to this walking path here to Disney Springs. But going in the opposite direction, like I said, the treehouse villas are all the way over here. So, and there are bus stops for the treehouse villas. There's a bus stop for the grandstand. Then there's the carousel all the way out here, which when I stayed here, I did stay at the carousel. But, you know, it's different from me being a local. I did have my car, so that was still very convenient. And then you got the paddock, which is this whole area. So the paddock can be very convenient, too. The paddock, the Springs, and Congress Park. And actually, even grandstand is not bad. It's when you got the carousel, and then obviously Treehouse Villas, which, yeah, there's the sacrifice there, because the Treehouse Villas are beautiful. But they are pretty out of the way. Oh, Randy points out studio is 3 max as far as how many adults can sleep. Yeah, but so I believe it's king bed and then a like a pull down bed. And like I said, here's some like a nice lounge turf area here with giant chess and then giant Tetris and rocking chairs. It's really nice. So we're actually going to head down to this path here and start making our way over towards Congress Park. There's not a ton to Saratoga Springs, really. There's those couple of restaurants. There are pool bars and things like that. Like I said, there are 4 pools here at Saratoga. So there's different pool bars and you know, things you can find around for different food options. There are also playgrounds in the various housing areas as well. But we're just going to head down to this main road that sort of runs through the middle of the resort and start making our way towards Congress Park and Disney Springs. Yeah, Randy points out Saratoga is also home to the DVC Welcome Sales Center. Yeah, you can find that here. I am not personally DVC, so I am not as well versed in the DVC terminology. I know, Randy, you are DVC. I know quite a few people who are. And we're talking about Disney Vacation Club, by the way. That's what DVC stands for, if you're not familiar. By the way, you can hear the activities team out here by the pool, providing some fun for the guests enjoying the pool area on a hot Saturday afternoon. And again, here is the map. So we are now out here, and we're just going to follow this road over towards Congress Park. And here you can see this is the Springs, the nice fountain over there. And here is the bus stop for the Springs right on this road here. So if you walk over to whether you're standing at the grandstand or the paddock or whatever, if you walk over to, and by the way, here real quick too, here is an entrance for the main pool area, so you don't have to go all the way back up there. But if you walk over to the carriage house to get food over at Artist Palette or Turf Club, you can simply walk down here to this bus stop. You don't have to go all the way back to wherever your room may be. If you're gonna grab some lunch or something and then head out to the parks. By the way, they do also have bike rentals. You can rent Surrey bikes or normal bikes. You can find that counter right here. Let's see, because we haven't really explored the pricing. So they're open from 10 to 6:30. 2-seat Surrey bike is $25 for 30 minutes. 4-seat Surrey is $28. So you can rent those right there. There's the community hall here, which you'll find at just about every Walt Disney World Resort hotel. There's always like almost like a rec center. They'll have games and like you can rent movies and things like that. There's a laundry center here. So if you're here for an extended stay, and you're not in one of those DVC villas where you have your own laundry, you can do your laundry right there. And then here is that big DVC. Well, I guess the main entrance is around the corner here, but this is where you'll find that like sales center. Basically, if you're interested in purchasing DVC, Disney Vacation Club, this would be a good place to do it. The Disney Vacation Club Preview Center. But we're going to keep following this path here over towards Congress Park to get a good view of Disney Springs. You'll see buses constantly coming through here because there's so many bus stops. And obviously it's a very big resort, so you'll have a lot of guests to pick up. Now there's some of the resorts that I have gotten out to more than others. And Saratoga is one. I think this is only the second time we've been out here. And this is a big reason why. A lot of the walk is just on the side of the road. You know, there is a sidewalk here, so it's completely safe. But it's just, you know, I got traffic going by me at all times. And so it's not one that is very conducive to a live stream, but it does have its amenities and things that make it a very nice stay. And you can see how long the walk can be. And Congress Park is one of the closest ones to the Carriage House. There's obviously the Springs right across the street, but it can be a much longer walk than this. But again, Congress Park does give you the walking path to Disney Springs at the most convenient location. Sorry, I do see we have a couple comments here, but I have a really bad glare on the screen, so I will read them in just a second here. See if we can get some shade. It is also a very hot day today. We are in the low 90s with a real feel in the mid 90s. I know the first day of summer is coming up. What is that? This Friday, I believe. So, you know, if you're visiting this time of year, be ready for heat and be ready for rain, because it's going to rain at some point in the day because the humidity just builds up so much. All right, I should be able to see my screen here in just a moment. Let's see, what do we have here? Oh, okay, Mallory says, stayed there for the first time last week in a 1-bedroom villa, and it was the best. Sorry, hang on, I gotta try click see more. As a family of 4, you had plenty of room, and I loved having the washer, dryer, and full kitchen. Yes, that is one of the big benefits of these DVC villas. And we got to stay in quite a few of them back in 2020. And you'll see videos on our YouTube channel of quite a few resorts. I believe it was 9 different resorts. We always had a 1-bedroom villa. And you can see all of the amenities that they offer. If that's in the cards for you, if that's an option, highly recommend it. It really, you know, takes that stay to the next level. Providing you with that kitchen and the laundry and things like that, even if it's just a short stay, it makes a big difference. Sharon says, looks nice, big. I prefer a smaller resort. I get that. Absolutely. There are things that some resorts have that others don't. You know, so it's all about finding the right one for you. And that's part of what we're doing here with this Spotlight series. And if you missed it at the top, we are getting out to every Walt Disney World Resort hotel this year. We've already done about half of them. We're about halfway through. After today, I think we have 9 more. So we'll get a look at every Walt Disney World Resort hotel this year. Let me see here. The Preview Center has model rooms for typically 3 resorts that they are currently featuring. I believe the current model is Riviera, Poly, Island Tower, and Fort Wilderness Cabins, Randy says. That's good to know. Let me see here too. Mallory says, definitely worth the small upgrade for a preferred room. We stayed at the Springs section, and we're a 5-minute walk from the main places. Yeah, that's what I was talking about there. So thank you, Mallory. That kind of, you know, vindicates what I was saying, validates what I was saying. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah, it is a very big resort. And like I said, I stayed at the carousel section, which is very far away from everything. And again, it's different for a local like me. I had my car here, so everything's still pretty much convenient. But if you don't have a car, it's a long walk. Let me see. First day of summer is also my birthday, says Patty. Awesome. Happy early birthday. DVC villas are some of the largest of all the DVC resorts. Only Key West has larger villas. Yeah, the Key West, the old Key West 3-bedroom villa, even the 1-bedroom villa, they're huge. And actually, spoiler alert, but Old Key West is our next resort in the Spotlight series. And because I have a few things coming up in the next couple weeks, obviously 4th of July is right around the corner, we're jumping right back into it next week. So keep an eye out for Old Key West next weekend. We do have a video of a 3-bedroom villa on our YouTube channel from over at Old Key West. Let me see, have I caught up? Yeah, Sharon says, you know, we prefer Wilderness Lodge. Yeah, I am with you 100%. Love Wilderness Lodge so much. Which is a big resort, but not as spread out as Saratoga Springs is, for sure. Also, the 1-bedroom and larger villas have a bubble jet tub. Yes. That is a good amenity. That's a good thing to point out, Randy. Thank you for that. We loved having those tubs in all those 1-bedroom villas. They were amazing. Perfect for relaxing after a long park day, Randy says. Yeah. All right, caught up on all the comments. So obviously, we are looking across the water here at Disney Springs. You can see the balloon going up right now, actually. So again, this is one of the big draws of Saratoga Springs. And if you've been to Disney Springs before and you've looked across the water, this is what you're looking at. You're looking at Disney Saratoga Springs Resort and Spa. And again, this is the Congress Park area. So specifically, this is the area you're seeing from over at Disney Springs. And if you just follow this path here, it takes you right into Disney Springs. It takes you all the way down to the marketplace area. So you do have to kind of loop around the water here. So again, if you're staying at like the opposite side of Saratoga, it'd be a very long walk to Disney Springs. But the option is here. Randy points out the Disney ducks. Yeah, there's plenty of them over here. Oh, Patty says the view from the balloon is amazing. I've never done it. I've wanted to. I just haven't gotten around to it. I don't know why. The same goes for the amphicars, whatever it is, over at the boathouse, which we saw a couple of them heading out. And you can actually, I don't know how well you can see them in the video, but here's the Friendship boat that takes you from Springs to, and that's another amenity here is you have boat transportation to Disney Springs as well. So this will take you to Saratoga Springs. It'll take you to Old Key West and over to Port Orleans. But just beyond that, you can kind of see 2 amphicars over there. So those are the cars that leave from right next to the boathouse and drive right into the water and then take you around the water. I've never done either one of those. I've really wanted to do both. And I would love to get a nice view from up on the balloon. The aerofoil used to be Characters in Flight. Now it's the aerofoil balloon up there. I would love to do that at night, especially when there's some fireworks happening over at Epcot. That'd be awesome. And Randy seconds that the views... He heard the views are amazing. So Randy's with me, hasn't done it. Just wanted to come into this little courtyard area, show you a nice view. If you have that balcony room here, looking out at Disney Springs, that's really nice. This would have been really cool too when they did the, I'm going to blank on the name now. Dreams That Soar, the drone show that they did here at Disney Springs last summer, which they have not brought back. But I would imagine we'll see some more drone shows in the future. It seems to be like the future of theme park entertainment. But that was really cool. And you can see video of that on our YouTube channel as well, youtube.com/D2Travel. And this would have been really awesome if you had a view right out here. You could just watch that from your room. That would have been really nice. But even just looking out at Disney Springs, really cool. Especially knowing your walking distance. If you just wanted to walk out to Disney Springs, grab dinner, and come back to your room that quickly, it'd be really nice. I'm used to, getting getting dinner at Disney Springs and then having like a half-hour to 45-minute drive home. Yeah, here's a better look at one of the amphicars in the water there. Again, I have not gotten to experience that, and I want to. Oh, Randy says, with DVC discount, the Aerophile is only $12 for an adult, $10 for children. It's a great price. I don't know how much the DVC discount is, though, so I'm not sure what the full price would be. And depending on the winds, we'll go up to a max height of 400 feet. Randy with the statistics. Yeah, that is one thing to know about the Aerophile balloon. Hi. One thing to know about the Aerophile balloon is that it does not go up if it's windy. You can see how much it's drifting right now. See how far it is. I don't know if you can really see the line in the video. By the way, it is tethered. It's not just a hot air balloon. You're not just like free floating. You are tethered to the ground there. So, but you can see how much it's drifting right now, even just moving left to right. So when it's really windy, no, it doesn't even have to be really windy. If it's windy, it will not go up. There's a slight breeze right now, and you can see how much it's moving. So keep that in mind if you are set on doing that, weather permitting. It's that kind of offering. Now, like I said, there are pools spread throughout this resort. We have a little playground area here at Congress Park, and then just beyond that is their pool, right next to this nice fountain. So we've seen this at other resorts. There's usually a big, when it's a resort that's spread out like this, there's usually a big pool and then smaller pools for guests who are farther away from that main area. And so this is obviously a much smaller pool than what we saw before. But still, nice offering, especially if your room is right outside here. And then again, a nice little fountain here. They will not take the balloon up if winds are above 15 miles per hour. There you go. Thanks, Randy. We're going to keep going down a little bit, but we're going to loop around Congress Park. I think we'll wrap things up with a nice view of Disney Springs. You can see another boat going by. And that's another thing, too. I mentioned this with some of the other resorts that are walking distance of each other. This one, you can walk over to Old Key West, or you can hop on a boat over to Old Key West or Port Orleans, both French Quarter and Riverside. So, while you're not technically sharing those amenities, you can. You can easily, I'm not staying here right now, you can come over to any of the Disney Resort hotels and enjoy the restaurants and things like that. Well, let me clarify, not the pools. You do need a room key to get into the pools, but restaurants and just sort of the vibes. There goes one of the amphicars. Good look at the amphicar here. And again, see signs for Surrey bike traffic, so you can have a nice ride along this walking path over to Disney Springs. And I'm not going to go too much farther because, like I said, up around the corner there is a security checkpoint. And so we don't want the live stream going up into the security checkpoint. Surrey bikes prohibited beyond this point, so you have to make that turn back there where we just saw that sign. So I think this is as good a place as any. We're going to wrap things up right here with a nice view of Disney Springs. I do have a few more things I need to tell you guys, so if you have any last minute questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. You can see the boat dock is right up ahead there. So again, you can hop on the boats over here, or there's another dock specific to Saratoga that you can hop on to get over to Old Key West and Port Orleans or to Disney Springs. Oh, thank you, Sharon. I appreciate that. I'm glad I can bring some Disney fun and hopefully some Disney knowledge to your lives, so you know have an idea of what you want to plan for your next vacation. And again, ask your Destinations to Travel advisor any questions you might have about what resort might be right for you. You know, I'm happy to show you guys the resorts, but they are very knowledgeable about what these resorts offer and can definitely help you get the right room type, the right location, everything that you want for the perfect Walt Disney World vacation. And if you don't have a Destination to Travel advisor, you can get one by heading over to d2travel.com or sending us an email at info@d2travel.com. That's D, the number 2, travel.com. And again, our advisors do an amazing job of taking all the stress off of your shoulders when you're planning your Disney vacation at no additional cost to you. It's not going to cost you anything to use one of our amazing advisors. So let them do all the heavy lifting. Let them make your next Disney vacation even more magical. Everybody going by on the boats is very friendly today. So again, that's D, the number 2, travel.com to start planning your next Disney vacation. And while you're here, if you don't already follow us here on Facebook, we do these live streams once a week. We are, like I said earlier, continuing our Walt Disney World Resort Hotel Spotlight series. Next week, we'll get out to Old Key West, but we get out to the parks quite a bit as well. And not necessarily only Disney. We get out to all sorts of fun places. We also have more content on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/D2travel. One more time, it's D, the number 2, travel. So if you want to see some of those room tours I mentioned, you can see those over there. We also have all sorts of other fun things going on around the parks. We have some vlogs and things like that. So youtube.com/D2travel. Be sure to subscribe while you're over there. And man, looking out at Disney Springs right now, I am hungry. Got some of my favorite restaurants in the world right across the water from me, like Boathouse. Just past that is Homecoming. Oh man, we got to get out to Disney Springs. Summer House on the Lake. Ugh. So many good restaurants over at Disney Springs. We got to get out to Disney Springs again sometime soon. It's been too long. Just so I can talk about food, because I don't do that enough. But that is going to do it for us today. Well, actually, one more thing I do want to say. Head over to d2travel.com. Check out our blog there. You will see a deals page with all of the latest offers for everything here at Walt Disney World, as well as some other locations, wherever you want to plan your vacation for. All of the latest deals, we put them up there on our blog. And again, you can always ask your Destination to Travel advisor for anything that may pertain to you as well. Some really great Disney Cruise Line offers out there right now. So if you're looking for a Disney cruise, it'd be a good time to book one. And then, of course, there's all sorts of Walt Disney World offers as well, including some free dining options. Free dining plan options, I should specify. So yeah, d2travel.com. One last time, I'll say it. All right, that'll really do it for us this time. Thanks again, everyone, and I will see you all real soon. Bye.